Hello, welcome back to another episode on Red Bull. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe and leave a like. Let's get into the story now. Thanks everyone for the kind words and advice.
Wife of 11 years cheated for over a year. This is the story of my friend Moore. He's like my rival. But I always admired him. He's one step ahead of me everything. But we were each other's brothers. For his privacy, let's call him William, and his wife Jane. The names aren't real. So fast forward. William married Jane when he was 23 and she 25. And they have a boy Toter. They met in a trekking and things went smooth. Jane was a smooth talker and a good woman. My wife is suffering from breast cancer and she was there for her. Like Jane was like an older sister to my wife. William never complained about her. But over a year ago, he mentioned Jane is super protective about her phone and acting cold. He said to me they didn't had sex for over 6 months. And each time when he tries to initiate intimacy she refuses. Even in their wedding anniversary she came home at 4 a.m. I knew there was a bunch of red flags and I told him that probably she might have been seeing someone. He said he has been suspecting it for a long time. But he didn't want to believe that possibility. So it kept going on. Like she became a rare visitor to my wife. I told my wife his problem. So she agreed to identify it in a sneaky way. After the sneaky talk with my wife told me she's seeing a guy but they are platonic and he's a great mechanic. I knew where this was going and my wife knew it too. I told William about the situation but he said Jane wouldn't do that, I'm sure. She's my girl, she wouldn't do such an act. I told him to hire a pie. And we can at least be okay. So he hired a pie. But he couldn't find any suspicious activities. After 3 months he came up with a photo, that's all he got. The photo was she was holding hands of a guy walking out of theater. So he called me telling he needed to talk. He looked like a total mess. Like a guy who lost everything. He smiled at me and said, "What have I done wrong?" I knew he's in a suicidal condition. So me and him went to a bar and drank to bottom. And he opened up like she was not I thought of. She never do household chores for over 3 months and she only cares about our boy. All she gives me is a forehead kiss before and after bed. She tells she's either tired or wants some space. What do I do? I knew he was broke. Over days I told him he's not alone and build a strong mind in him. Our friend circle and lot other guys supported him. Over time he realized that she ain't worth. So he went outside marriage and hooked up with a woman at his work. We are in same company but in different departments. Both of them were digital artists. So Will met Helena. She was much younger than him. He introduced her to me and said I'm gonna enjoy my life. She was like a model. Like video game spy characters. They had several hookups and like they are couples. He was happy and never cared about Jane. Things got to start a turn when Jane noticed him been happy and felt like he's been distant. So she confronted me and asked whether Will was seeing someone and how's he doing. But I lied. So on Christmas she confessed to her husband that she was having an affair for over a year. That she realizes how precious their marriage is. And how amazing Will is. Will hid his tears and asked her about the details. She said it was a mistake and it's over and we can be together again. He said it's over between them and he needs a divorce and asked her to leave. So she went to her mom's house and kept calling and texting all day. During this time Will had made a separate account and moved his funds in there and opened new accounts in several new banks. The withdrew from joint account and kept half of the money for her. She cried and begged not to divorce her. By that time Will had moved on. And Jane did a suicide attempt. And told Will that she'll do anything. And she couldn't live without him. And she'll do anything. Will didn't even bother to visit her at hospital. After the discharge she came to his home and told all this. He said he needed some clarification and asks her to start talking. If she lies, no second chance and nothing. So she told him that he was a local mechanic. And she felt lonely and she missed her youth and wanted to feel it again. So first it started by her car breaking down and meeting him. Exchanged their numbers. Over a month it turned sexual. The relationship was an hot steamy affair. He wanted to know where she was at their son's birthday and their anniversary. She told she was with him. And she was having sex when he called her for their son's birthday. That she told him she was late, busy at work. And in anniversary she went for a ride with a fair partner and had several sex that day. She even brought him an apartment. Will was crushed hearing that and called her names from A to Z. She says she's sorry and think about our son and we can be his papa and mama again. He said it was a mistake meeting her and he's fed up of her. And she is a dead meat to him. She holds his legs and begs not to leave her. Ty, she'll do anything, and affair partner didn't mean anything. Affair partner is a 27-year-old guy who cheated on Jane and dumped her week before Christmas. She was emotionally attached to affair partner and me, and Will knew it. After several pleading and counseling, Will took her back. Not because he loved her, it's because he didn't have a choice. In our country, adultery is a fault in divorce. But in order to do so, you need hard evidence. If you can't prove it, then you're f***ed. You need hard proof to win against her in court. And Will didn't have any hard evidence. He was busy with Helena all time. But he had other plans in mind. He laid rules. She had no choice to accept it. Cleaning household is her duty and laundry. She has to obey anything he says or else she's out. Always ready for sex whenever he wants and should do any acts he says. All her email/phone/account details and password should be known to him. He became cold towards her. After sex, he kicks her out of the room and says this is his bed, you can sleep in guest bed. And often he comes late at home. He calls her by first name and shouts and curses her for silly mistakes. She soon found about Helena and confronted him, and he told doors open, you can leave if you like. Jane often visits my wife and asks for advice what to do to save her marriage. She gives tips and advice. My wife was really sad about her. Jane told my wife that she often gets rejected and Will never lets her sleep in the same bed. And one day she dresses up and went to him, but he made fun of her and told her to grow up. She's a mess now. I even feel pity for her. Will often says to his girlfriend that his wife is an old cow and she ain't good as she is. Things gets cruel when she learns Will is going on a business trip with Helena. It shattered her, and Will told her he's not her. And they are just friends now. But I knew what were they. And in the company party we were supposed to bring our spouses to it. Jane was looking forward to this. But Will turned her down and said we need to work things out, and he went single. And was with Helena all along. Helena was understanding and they're like a couple. They do everything a couples do. Will told Helena that he would leave Jane when his son is 18. And he told me that too. He treats her like crap. He doesn't do physical abuse. But does mentally, like if she doesn't clean the table he would say Mr. Mechanic would do that. And if anything she doesn't do in bedroom he mentions her infidelity and guilts her, saying it's all her fault. I don't know where this gonna end. I think he stayed because of his son. He doesn't care about money. But he's rudderless to Jane now. Things have been going like this. Jane comes to my wife for solace. This is long because of the incidents that happened over 2 years. I'm hoping both of them finds peace.
Thank you for watching.